Set a trap and got the laziest guy fired. I worked at a hospital doing environmental services, which is basically a fancy way of saying I collected trash and medical waste. It wasn't a bad job at all. I have ADHD, so all the walking around actually helped me focus, and I could usually get my entire section of the hospital cleared out by lunch if I kept moving. We always worked in pairs to cover the building faster. My partner and I had this system down where we'd split up, hit our assigned wings, and meet back at the loading dock to dump everything. Easy. Then this new guy, Ben, started. First day, he seemed cool, shook everyone's hand, said he was excited to be part of the team, brought coffee for the morning shift. I thought, okay, this guy's gonna work out fine. Boy, was I wrong. Like 2 weeks in, I started noticing things. I'd show up for my shift and the bins in Ben's section would be completely overflowing. Trash bags piled up next to the cans because they were too full. Medical waste sitting in the dirty utility rooms for way longer than it should be. At first, I figured maybe he was just slow or still learning the routes, so I'd help him out, take care of some of his overflow so we wouldn't get in trouble. But then it kept happening. Every single day I'd come in and his entire section would be a disaster. The bins would be so full that nurses were complaining they couldn't throw anything away. I'd have so much extra work that I wouldn't even be halfway done with everything by lunch. And the medical waste? That stuff has to be taken out constantly because it's literally contaminated materials. That was piling up too. I started having to skip my breaks just to stay caught up. My back was killing me from working double time. And I kept thinking, what the hell is Ben even doing all day? Management was getting heat about it too. Doctors were complaining, nurses were calling, even patients mentioned the overflowing trash. Our supervisor kept having these meetings about maintaining cleanliness standards and how it reflected poorly on the whole department. Everyone suspected Ben wasn't actually working, but here's the thing. He was a really good liar. Like, scary good. Whenever someone asked him about it, he'd have this whole explanation ready. Oh man, I was just in that wing. Must have filled up right after I left. Or, yeah, I noticed that too. I think the night shift didn't finish their section. He sounded so convincing that management couldn't really do anything without proof. I complained directly to my boss multiple times. I told her I was doing 2 people's work and Ben was clearly hiding somewhere. She believed me, but she said without evidence, she couldn't just fire him based on suspicion. Hospital has all these union rules and procedures, so I decided to set a trap. It was a Friday afternoon, and I was doing my final rounds before the weekend. I got to this one wing on the 4th floor that was being renovated, so it was closed on weekends. No patients, no staff, nobody going in there until Monday. I saw this trash bin in one of the rooms that was completely overflowing. Like, trash was literally falling onto the floor. It was definitely Ben's section. I pulled out my phone and took a clear photo showing the bin, the room number on the door, and the date stamp on my phone. Then I just left it. Didn't touch it. I knew Ben was working both Saturday and Sunday that weekend, so he'd have to pass by this room multiple times. I came in Monday morning and went straight to that 4th floor wing. I walked into the same room. The bin was exactly the same. Same trash bags, same garbage on the floor, nothing had been touched. I took another photo from the same angle with Monday's date showing. I walked straight to my boss's office and showed her both photos. She looked at them, then looked at me, and just said, give me 5 minutes. I heard her on the phone calling Ben to come to the office immediately. He showed up like 10 minutes later acting all casual, probably thinking it was just another routine check-in. My boss called me in too. She put both photos up on her computer screen side by side and said, Ben, can you explain why this bin looks identical from Friday to Monday when you worked the entire weekend? I watched his face change. He went from confused to nervous to completely blank. He tried his usual excuses. Oh, I must have missed that room, or I thought someone else was covering that wing. But my boss wasn't having it. She pulled up the weekend assignment sheets showing he was definitely responsible for that entire floor. Then she asked him to show her his access card logs. See, we had to scan our cards every time we entered a wing so they could track hospital security. His card showed he'd barely scanned into any of the main work areas all weekend. He'd mostly been scanning into break rooms and the parking garage. Ben just sat there, didn't say anything. His lies finally caught up to him. Turns out he'd been spending most of his shifts hiding in empty patient rooms messing around on his phone, only doing the bare minimum when he knew supervisors were around. My boss told him to leave immediately and that HR would contact him about his termination. Security had to escort him out because that's protocol when someone gets fired. The best part? He got blacklisted from all the other hospital departments too. He couldn't even apply for a job in the cafeteria or parking services. They flagged him in the system as not eligible for rehire. After he left, my boss thanked me for finally getting proof. She said they'd suspected it for weeks but couldn't catch him. I felt pretty good knowing I did everyone a favor. My job got so much easier after that.